Okay, so here I am, back again, and I'm in the trees. And that is kind of crazy. Let's see. This is what my view is from here. There's nothing around, except for a couple of airplanes flying. So I have a camp that is in a very odd location. Wouldn't be a place I'd typically choose. This here is a tarp over the whole thing, okay? So that's the way it goes. It's long. It's probably 35, 40 feet long, right? And about a good 12 to 15 feet wide. And it's right down at the ground on this side. On the other side, it's all the way to the ground. But, well, I guess it's all the way down the ground this side. But it's kind of tucked into the hill is what my point is. Around it, I'll show you on the outside. Around it, I put kind of a barrier, not a fence, but I just threw things together that basically look from a distance like trees. There's burlap, there's metal, there's wood, there's things this is all stuff I found. There's some corrugated roofing over there, and then there's like the same material and it goes that I used for the tarp all the way down. I sliced it in two. It was very large. And what it was, believe it or not, I gotta say, is a billboard sign upside down. This is the back side of a billboard sign, that black over there. And what is on the tarped over the tents. That's it. And it really went a long way. A real long way. So anyway, I'm in a place that is very, very much, this is outside of my compound. This is around me. This is all woods. All woods, all the way down in there. And if you can see that light part right in the middle of the screen right there, that's the top of trees that are at the bottom of the valley that I'm in. And I'm not that far from the tops of the trees, as you can see. It's almost as if I'm in a treehouse, but I'm not. I got a couple little garden patches right over there. You can't really see it, but there's some right in here. There's some watermelon growing, and behind it, let's see, behind it over there, there's some peppers and squash, and believe it or not, I've got 2 buckets that I found down here. I found a tomato ring, and I've got cherry tomatoes coming up, and beets down here on the, let's see, there's beets here, cherry tomatoes over here, and these are 2 pots of spinach. Again, some good dirt I found. And let's see, down here, I don't know if you can see it, but down right here, there's another little scratch patch, I call them, that, and there's one right in there that are, they're filled with carrots and different things that I started earlier when the weather was cooler and there wasn't as many trees with leaves on them, by God. And I wasn't really aware of how covered this is, but look at the canopy. I mean, it's thick, and these vegetables are not going to do well here in the shade, but when I planted them, it was very sunny. Anyway, I got those seeds at Dollar Tree, 4 packages for $1.25. Now, well, I had a couple of bucks, so I just bought me about 8 packs of different things and threw them in there. There's some chard and basil and all kinds of stuff. I like to cook, and I'm not going to let go of that, even though I'm out here in the woods. But it's really kind of weird. I hope I'm not going to try to survive on that. I'm just going to try to augment the food that I do get from food banks and things with some fresh veggies. And yeah, it's just I've always had a garden if I had the time and the room, and I certainly have the room. But and I guess got the time too. But anyway, moving forward, got a trail here. I'm gonna go down here now. I have a lot of strategies that I could share with you. It's important to be low key no matter what you're doing. You got to be low key. You got to be quiet about what you're doing, because out here in this environment, one, you've got no protection, no way to lock your valuables if you have any. So secrecy and being silent and moving quietly is paramount. You got to do that, no matter what. You got to do that. Very few people know where I'm at, and the only reason they do is because somebody needs to know where I am, just in case I disappear for 2 or 3 months and nobody can find me. Somebody needs to know that I could be here and where to look, because looking back, you can't see my compound from here. From about 40, 50 feet away, I'm not visible. And this is looking back on the trail. You can't see it, and I'm less than 100 feet from my compound. So that's the goal, is to be as invisible as you possibly can. It's important in ways that serve you without even knowing. So if I look up, this is a pretty weird place in that I'm kind of in an area that is about from top up there to bottom way down there, the light is. It's probably 100 feet difference in terrain, elevation. That's pretty substantial, and it's in a very short run. So there's not any reason for anybody to come down in here, really, and that's the beauty of it. You want to be near some place that is close to town, or in some place that's close to town, so you can access what you need, but you want to be almost in a place that's inaccessible and undesirably so by the people that would be opportunistic or other urban campers. You don't want to be in a group, because groups will screw you over, and groups are dirty, and groups are, it's just like having bad neighbors. They're going to be doing drugs, and they're going to be leaving needles, and they're going to be leaving trash, and they're going to be lazy, and they're not going to do anything to clean their situation up, no matter what that situation is. And that's sad, but it's the truth. There's a lot of people out here that are just in this situation because they won't fix their life. That's not my case. I want it. I didn't want to be here. I don't want to be here, and have been trying desperately to get out of a situation. And finally, I decided, you know what? Sometimes you just have to embrace it when it's not changing, when things seem to keep you where you are. It's not that you have to succumb to feelings of inferiority or feelings that you'll never get out, desperation. You can survive it, but the way you survive it is to embrace that experience rather than run from it. And you flip it around when you do it like that. And you can turn a negative into a positive. There's always something to gain from whatever you go through, but you just have to believe it. You just have to believe it. And you have to not only believe it, but act on it. So I'm, believe it or not, actually walking the trail to my camp, to one of my 5 different entrances or trails that I use. It's hard to see, but that's the point. I don't want to have a trail that's visible, if I can help it. The reason I'm here, I'm at where I'm going to be for today, because what I'm doing today is I'm foraging. And foraging not for food, but for things to use to reach the goal that I have and the idea that I have in mind for this camp of mine, which is actually ultimately a permanent structure. But a little bit at a time, as I ease into this, I wanted to show you. You can hear the sirens in the background. I wanted to show you how I do a couple of things and what foraging really means. And remember, when you don't have any resources, how do you get by? How do you find what you need quickly enough to be able to make a life and make a shelter, make a way to go on, a way to be secure in an insecure world, in a crazy environment, and with a crazy set of rules in life that you've been dealt, But the foraging thing is a really interesting tool to be able to use to acquire things. I don't steal and I don't lie, and I'm not going to in order to survive. Some people do that. I would rather look around me and find resources that are thrown away or is abandoned in some way or another, and utilize those things by gathering them and making the most of them through my imagination and my creativity. Maybe I'm an old hippie, I don't know. I guess I could be. But at least with that mindset. So I'm looking here around me, and over the year that I've been down here, I've been walking and creating these trails back and forth. And I've encountered things that basically I've dismissed, right, until recently. And I started looking a little deeper because I decided to just embrace where I am and deal with it and try to do the best and most interesting thing I can. So anyway, I started to look at things as that I've seen continually a little more differently than before, and to look at them with the eye of what could I use it for. And when you come up with the right idea, it seems like the universe conspires to help you succeed. And that's really what you're looking for as you go through life. Because that alignment means that you're on a right path, even though it might seem a crazy path. It's the right path when things seem to line up and support you to accomplish it. Okay? That's an important thing to learn. But anyway, for instance, I want to show you something. You see this right here? Now you can barely see it, but it's been here on this path for years. It's been stuck in here. And what it is a twisted piece of chain link fence, right? And there's quite a few patches of this down through here. But it's pretty wide, You know, it's a full length, and it's down over in here and underneath this pile of wood, and it comes up and around and comes down, and it's probably a good I don't know, 10, 12 feet up here, and maybe 6 feet down there, and then it goes, let's see, up here, you can't really see it, but it goes through these vines up here and then over that way. So there's actually a lot of chain link here, and this is all a backfill area. So this backfill was bulldozed down in here years ago. And what this is a runoff for the properties that are up above at street level. And it all runs down into here, runs that way, runs down the valley, and then to wherever it goes. And I'm not going to tell you where it goes. But years ago, they started backfilling this stuff, and it seemed like they used anything and everything. They didn't care what went in here. There's plastic and there's pipes. This is like a recliner chair. These are, I don't know what they are. I guess they're parts to a stereo system or something like that. There's bed springs in here. Look here. This is some more wire. Now, right, you think about wire. You see all that tangle. What do you do with something like that? Why would anybody even want that crap? You know, it's like, it's garbage. Just leave it alone. Well, it does have a use if you have a creative solution for using it. So I've been walking this area, which is a fairly large area, for a while, spotting things like this. And this is my pile. This is one pile of things that just are worthless, but are not just worthless to me, because I can see a way to utilize them for what this project is that I'm going to do. And anyway, there's all kinds of things in here, and I want to show you real quickly how we got is like this is a frame to like a stereo cabinet or something, or it looks like there's 3 or 4 pieces. Well, they're garbage, right? They're garbage, but they're also not garbage. And for what I need them for, it'll never matter if they look bad or if they're one length or another. And all that matters is they have some rigidity to them. The wire's the same way. The wire is not going to matter. But I want all this wire, and I'm going to come and get this wire and this chain link fence and those bed springs and different things like that to create what I'm going to create. Even that plastic PVC up there is something I'm going to get. There's also a lot of bricks that are all the way up this wash here. There's quite a few bricks. I don't know if you can see it. Can't. Yeah, I guess I can zoom in. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see bricks laying in there. There's logs and bricks and logs and water tank doors and roots. There's all kinds of crap up in there. It's nasty, gnarly. It's kind of dangerous to walk over in there to a point. You just got to be careful. But anyway, that's you're going to see me take this crap right here and make something out of it, and I think you're going to be surprised when you see the end result. But so I look really closely at the ground now. I'm looking quite intently at things that are hidden, because this is bulldozed, and half of it might be underground. I don't know, but there's an old futon right there. There's pieces of pipe and trees and asphalt and rocks and barbed wire and pipes all over here. It's just, but yet you don't really see it, but it's there. And it's just like right there, there's a piece of pipe. Bottles, trash, tires. It's gross. it's really, they just dump stuff in here. There's some more chain link, and we're at a trailhead that I've split for 2 entrances to come into my spot. I dug out under that tree that fell, and there's a trail going underneath it down that way that the deer use. And believe it or not, that's a stair that goes up to the top, which is kind of interesting. What I do is I find a way, and I carve out. If you look down through here, this is my trail, but you'll see like here and here, and then on down, I will put in naturally occurring steps, flat rock, build it up a little bit so that I can navigate up this hillside pretty quickly, because this is actually fairly steep and it would be difficult to walk up in here. But I've got it like this around this tree. So, and then we come up and we're here. And this comes up into a parking lot, but I'm not going to tell you where. So what I'm here for is to get that right there. That's my thing I found earlier, or a few days ago actually. And that right there is, I couldn't remember where I put it to get, but it is it's an electrical box on a piece of conduit right there. Now what I want this for, it's bent. You see it's bent big time, and it's garbage. Some electrician had cut it. Where'd it go? Had cut it out, and they were no longer using it on a pole. And the pole had a light at the top of it, and they cut it off. And when they did, they cut the pole down. But this electrical box ran up the pole to the top where the light was, and they cut it and threw it out, and I grabbed it and stuck it in trees, because what it is really long, and I'm looking for things that have rigidity and things that will last in this project that I'm working on. So this is about 20 something feet. Oh, let me get it over me. And I am going to walk her on down. Let's see here. Oh, goodness gracious. It's long. Come on, thing. Caught in it. Oh, jeez. Oh, give me a second. Oh. All right. I think there it goes. It's long. Like I say, it's over 20 feet long. It's probably, I don't know how long this is, 10? Yeah, it's long. I'd say maybe 20, 22, 25, the way it's cut. Anyway, so here we go. I'm gonna take this back to the camp, and we're going to apply this to this thing, this project that I'm going to build. And I'm going to come back and get those a little bit. But since I've got to go down through the trees, it's kind of easier just to carry one thing at a time. No need to hurry. Oh, there's a piece of oak flooring, and I'm going to grab that too while I'm here. Yeah, I don't have any money. So without any money, resources are something I just can't afford. You know? So how do you do something when you can't afford it? You use things that are thrown away. And use, not stolen, but thrown away, discards. I guess in some ways, oh goodness gracious, come on. I guess in some ways you're actually helping the environment by doing. So as we walk along here, I'm going to flip around and get you a visual on me again. So hang on.